For homework problem number 5, you are being asked to find the sum of the first 10 terms in the series. But first you need to determine if it's arithmetic or geometric. Remember, to determine those two things, you have to either find an R or a D. Well, by looking at this, I suspect it's geometric. So what I'm going to do is to check a few things. I would like to see if I can figure out R. So I would take my last term and divide by my third term. And then I would take my third term and divide by my second term. And lastly, I would take my second term and divide by my first term. All right, this one I could do mentally. I know that it's 1/2. And if the others are 1/2, then I'm good to go. So I'm going to open my calculator and figure out the rest. Okay, so basically I just have to take 2.5 and divide by 5. And that gives me 0.5, which is the same thing as 1/2. And then I need to take 1.25 and divide by 2.5. And that also gives me 0.5. So then I know that this has to be a geometric series because I get the same common ratio for each quotient. Okay, so once I know that it's geometric, then I can find the sum by using the formula given for the sum of a geometric series if it's a finite series. Remember, finite means that it stops, so we're adding up the first 10 terms so we know where the end point is. So the formula for that is, if you want to find the 10th term, you would take n, which is 10, and then you would plug in 1 minus the common ratio. So I'm going to do 0.5 to the 10th divided by 1 minus the common ratio. Okay, so that formula written without the numbers is S sub n is equal to n times 1 minus r to the 10th over 1 minus r. And that is the formula for finding the sum of a finite geometric series. Okay, so I took a screenshot of what I typed into my calculator to find the sum of my finite geometric series, and this is how I typed it in. And I want to just talk to you about the parentheses. The answer to this problem is 19.98 and change. Basically what I want you to realize is that if you look at 1 minus 0.5 to the 10th, that's this part right here. And these two parentheses correspond to that. So you have to enclose your numerator in parentheses. Then I want you to also look at the denominator. I have 1 minus 0.5, so that's this set of parentheses. And you have to enclose your denominator in parentheses. And then the entire fraction needs to be enclosed in parentheses. And that's these outer fraction, or that's those outer parentheses there. And that's these in the calculator. And so if you type that all in correctly, you have to be very careful about your parentheses. You will come up with a correct answer of 19.98046875. Chances are if you miss this one, it could be an error with your parentheses.